Welcome back to Evening Plus. We have another guest with us tonight from Spectrum Autism Center. They are celebrating 10 years serving children and families here in our community. They've got 2 locations here in West Michigan and then 3 others here across our state. I'm joined by Executive Director Jennifer Ward-Kolka. Jennifer, thanks so much for being here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is such a momentous occasion for you guys. 10 years is a long time for anything to be operating, but of course a center that provides services like you guys do. I can only imagine the amount of children and families that you've been able to serve during that time. Obviously, you're quite established in the community, but if anyone hasn't heard of the center and what you guys do, can you give us sort of a little synopsis of what it looks like at the center?
Yeah, so we specialize in applied behavior analytic therapy, also known as ABA therapy. It is one of the most research-based, results-driven therapies out there for children with autism, also young adults, but we primarily serve children. We focus on finding what their strengths are and what skills they may benefit from learning that are socially significant to them and their families, as well as just helping their families along this journey too. So we partner with schools, wherever that kid is at in their community, to help them live a happy, healthy, independent life.
Yeah, and so this is really, your child is in school, and this is sort of a supplemental place for them to continue to be successful and get the resources and help that they need.
Yeah, it can be both. Many kids or young adults are in school in some capacity. When children are younger, that's the prime time to get a diagnosis. That's where the most learning happens. They're sponges when they're 2, 3, 4-year-olds, but also when you think about it, that's the least amount of skills to catch up. So if somebody has some deficit areas when you're 2, 3, it's easier to catch up to your typically developing peers than it is if you wait until somebody might be 9 or 10 or even an adult. So our younger kids will come for usually some sort of a full day, depending on their needs.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone is different. That's why it's called a spectrum. So we do after-school programs as well as full-day programs. If schools will have us, we happily partner with schools and work in the environment that the kids are in. That should be a good chunk of their day, the school environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that you just mentioned there, it really can be key to get that autism diagnosis earlier on, just because it can be so much smoother for the child and, of course, the family. I know just from teachers that I am friends with, it can sometimes be challenging for families to, accept that there may be an autism diagnosis. But ultimately, when that diagnosis is made, as we've been talking about, the child can be so much more set up for success because they're getting the tools and the help that they need. Can you talk a little bit about that for, families who may be going back to school soon?
Absolutely. One of the first things I do when a parent reaches out to us or we're referred by a local community partner when they come to us is to congratulate them. It's a weird congratulations though, like, oh, you've had this, could be very life-changing news, but I congratulate them because I know how hard they've worked to get to that point. The courage that it has taken that family to notice those signs, to be aware, to go to their pediatrician, to hear from their teachers, their family members. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to take those steps.
Sure.
And then unfortunately, it can take a lot of hard work to get through the steps before they even get to us. So the first thing I always try to do is to give them an awkward congratulations of how proud I am that they care so much for their kid and they've made it this far. And then we really just start to work through what's important to them, what are their concerns, and how can we use our skills not to change them and make them into the people that they aren't, but how can we support them so that they can live their fullest lives?
Absolutely. And as far as, I know you sort of talked about the therapeutic techniques, but as far as the specific services at the center that really can be tailored to what that child needs and wants and, maybe different from a typical peer, how much more, I guess, beneficial can that be for them and just living their life, in and out of school, but having the help and the tools and the techniques that they need to just, live life better? Yeah.
Well, one of our core values is growth, and another core value is fun. And so we strive to help the individuals we work with as well as our employees grow but also to have fun. So we're looking at, like I said, what's important to the family. That could be just being able to go to grandma's house for a holiday. And what skills does that take? Is that being able to sit at the table? Is it being able to express your wants and needs? It's too loud at grandma's house. I don't like it when she hugs me. Being able to express that, then showing it in a way that, you know, may not be appropriate for the environment. We do a lot of potty training, executive functioning skills. So we might have a individual we work with that is doing pretty well in school, but they can't keep their papers organized. There might be test anxiety, things that may not look like stereotypical autism, but their lives are impacted by this, and we can tailor programs to help them very specifically so that they have the skills they need to live the lives they want.
Yeah, and I'm sure something that you guys focus on too, and I think it kind of goes back to that congratulations that you give. You know, just because a family, a child is, you know, faced with an autism diagnosis, everyone is different. It's not this big, bad, horrible situation. You know, everyone's different. This is what makes some of us different, and there's just tools needed to kind of enhance how we do things during the day. I'm sure that's a big part of what you guys do at the center is, you know, it's just something that makes some of us a little different.
Yeah, absolutely. We celebrate acceptance and diversity day in and day out, but we try to be part of our communities to share information about individuals with autism, to work with schools, just to really get the word out that it's not like necessarily what you see on TV. Everyone is capable, and if we're all a little more understanding, we're all gonna have happier lives and we can all be successful. We just have to figure out ways in which we can all communicate and enjoy the experiences of life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure too, you know, as you mentioned, it is a spectrum. You know, what you may think autism looks like could be very different for your child specifically. You know, it could be a couple of very minor things. It could be something more challenging, you know, like trouble with talking or going to the bathroom, something like that. So, you know, it's not this one cookie cutter picture of what autism looks like.
No, it really isn't. And that's some of the, I wouldn't say the joy of the work. The joy is really seeing the smiles and the growth of everyone, but the variability is really eye-opening. To be a part of helping a child actually learn to speak. If they're not speaking with their words, if they're using maybe some sort of an iPad device to tell their mom hello or I want milk or something, that it's a small thing like that that can be really life-changing. But then to also see an individual who may have struggled here and there with social skills throughout school come to find that autism diagnosis and then be able to find either a peer group or some skills to help them really enjoy school, participate in school, and not feel so isolated. So it truly is a spectrum, and at all levels need different support, and we're ready for the challenge.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up here, obviously you guys are celebrating 10 years, which is such a huge milestone. You know, started with one center and now you're at 5 across the state, which is really great. Just congratulations. I mean, what a moment for you guys too. I mean, a decade is a long time for anything.
It is.
But
I'm so happy to have been part of the last 5 years, but I've known Lisa, the owner, for well over the 10 years, and it's I'm so grateful for what she's done for the communities we're in, and I just can't believe it's been 10 years. It's pretty amazing.
And for families out there who may be hearing about the center, maybe they knew about it, maybe they just learned more. If someone's looking to at least talk with someone just about what you guys offer and what you do, it's just giving you guys a call a best option?
Yep, give us a call. You can check out our website. There's a contact form there as well, but we're happy to help with the questions that may appear along the way. The process can be a little difficult, and we're pretty familiar with it, so we're happy to help direct you in the right ways for where you're living.
Awesome. Jennifer, thanks so much for coming in.
Again,
thank you. Congratulations on the big milestone.
Thanks.
And thank you for, you know, just all the incredible work that I'm sure you guys have done over the years for many, many families here in our community.
The pleasure's ours. We love what we do.
Awesome. Jennifer, thanks so much.